In 1976, a charismatic singer coming off the success of a one-hit wonder turned into one of the ABA's franchise owners. The Flint Tropics, owned by Jackie Moon, also the team starting forward, weren't as successful as they should have been. Low attendance, a terrible sports market, and unnecessary ethics could have played a role that would drive the team into a downward spiral, which would ultimately lead to imminent abolition of the ABA and merge with the NBA. With the help of other owners, Jackie was able to make a deal with the commissioner. A deal which included the top four teams at the end of the season could merge with the NBA. With the likes of a promising young star known as Clarence Withers, also later known as Coffee Black, and the acquisition in exchange for the team's washing machine, a veteran player and former NBA champion in Ed Monix, the team starts to pick up momentum in the rankings. Although the league has decided to now not go through with the original plan of keeping the top four teams, that doesn't stop the fierce competition from the Tropics and the great promoting from Mr. Moon. With the Tropics end looming in the distance and down one spot in the rankings, it all comes down to three things: the discovery of fire, the invention of the submarine, and the Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl. Can the Tropics get it done? So everybody panic, because tonight we become jive turkeys in our own right. Tonight, we welcome you to a very special watch along of the cult classic Semi-Pro. So, freaks of the week, are you in the mood to fly to the stars with Jackie Moon? Kick off your shoes and suck us sexy, because this is a Comic Talkers production and you are listening to Just for Flix. What's going on? It's your boy, Patty B. With me, as always, is my vacitis, my co-host, Mr. B Dog, Mr. Brandon. What's going on, man? How you doing on this lovely, I guess you would say morning for us?
Well, it's a tropical day. We are getting ready to go into some funny basketball scenes. I describe myself as the priest, as the referee. That's kind of how my personality is. I love how he fucking says right away, "Fuck you, Jackie." You know.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
it's a fun movie. This is a movie. We're gonna have some good notes for you too, because this is a movie. To me, it's not. There's a lot of things about this movie that people don't realize. This is the last really Will Ferrell sports movie. Not only that, it's the last movie from New Line Cinema before it was bought out by Warner Brothers. So the company who brought you Nightmare Before Elm Street, Lord of the Rings, all those great, even Home Alone,
Mm-hmm.
owned by Warner Brothers. You know, but this is to me a shocker to me, and we'll get into it here while watching the movie. This was actually a flop. This
Yeah.
was not very successful in the box
Which is crazy to think because of the stacked cast it has, right? I mean, having, Will Ferrell himself, you
office.
got Woody Harrelson, you
Yeah,
got Andre Benjamin, also known as Andre 3000 from Outcast. You
yeah.
got
Myra Timney.
yep.
We have Andy Daly, Will Arnett.
Hmm.
Um, what was it? David Kushner. We
Rob
also,
Corddry.
yeah, Bob Corddry. This this cast is a stacked cast, and when I did a little research on this just to kind of see, and we'll kind of talk about why it was a flop, possibly. But the budget for this film was 55 million.
Hmm.
They only got back worldwide 43, or pretty much round up to 44 million.
Took about a 11 to $12 million loss on it.
Yeah,
But it may be a loss. It may have a low percentage in Rotten Tomatoes because I saw it was like 23%, I believe.
yeah.
But guess what? It's number one in our hearts.
We still love it sexy. So
um, yeah.
yeah, so as our normal watch longs, we start off 3, 2, 1. Start the movie. We'll talk. We'll give some time frames. It's an hour and a half movie.
Mhm.
So we are going to be kind of doing some different notes. I think we'll be able to talk a little bit more during this because it's a funny movie. We
Yeah.
all love it. There'll be some scenes. about this that I even talk about from history because I'm a big history guy myself, and so it's actually I'm looking forward to this. So Pat, you ready to take it away?
Yeah, man, I got my oat sody here ready to go, and ooh, sounds so sweet, so sour.
Man, I
Um,
can't believe you're doing that first thing in the morning though.
it's the breakfast of champions, my friend. Cheers
You're
to you.
you're you're tropics.
Yep,
We're in the
it's
tropics
it's
now.
hot right now. I'm in my garage. I got flies around me. I'm just here having a good time.
You just need you just need a little bit of mosquitoes and a palm tree behind you, and you got tropics.
100%, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. So, without further ado, I think we're ready, right? Let's get it rolling. Um, 3, 2, 1. Let's get tropical. So, I love that classic. I love this classic, the New Line Cinema
Yeah.
intro. You
It
know,
it's like we said, this was their last movie. This kind of is what
put New
put
Line
them.
Cinema away. Wow, this is a monumental moment then on just for Flix.
We're
um,
watching the movie that sends out a company.
I love that album cover, the Love
Yeah,
Me
there
Sexy.
you go.
The legs are popping up.
You know that's just all photoshopped at
Oh, I
this
know,
point.
I know. Well, let's get sweaty. Let's
Jack,
get
Jackie Moon
sweaty.
tops the charts with "Love Me Sexy."
I'm talking rainforest sweaty. I'm talking swamp set sweaty. Let's fill the bathtub full of sweat all right.
Will Ferrell does not look right with an afro, though.
You know what's crazy is it's funny to see I see a lot of people with his jersey on, especially like during Halloween time. Like it's a perfect costume, honestly, man.
Was
It's
it,
really what's
you,
that?
you ever seen the video they did of him when he's at the Warriors game? And he
I
goes out there to mess with Clay Thompson because Clay
Does he
Thompson
have didn't he pull out his jersey one time?
he dressed up as
Oh,
the Flint
that's
Tropics,
fucking awesome.
and so he goes out there and warms up, and he actually does the granny shot.
Yeah.
But I love how this is one of my favorite parts of this. I love how the owner, right, is a
Yep.
player. Like I felt like they did some jabs too, like or not jabs, but like they did like recognition to like somebody like Bill Russell who was a coach and a player at the same time, and but this guy's the owner, the coach.
Yeah.
Keep
Um,
the sexy.
what's crazy about real quick too is here we see Dick Pepperfield and joined as always by former Lou Redwood. I might suit up tonight. Sometimes I still dream of glory, Dick. Sometimes dreams can turn into nightmares. What's your problem? No, but what I was gonna say real quick, I love the venue that they play in. I don't know why. There's an old school feel about it. I know it's supposed to take place in the 70s, but it's just not your typical NBA arena or arena in general that you see nowadays. And I think that's pretty cool. I mean, it was a different time back then, man. And I think it gives it an intimate feel, even though they only have maybe 20 fans in the crowd. We're at I know it's a quick time cue, but we're at 2 minutes and 55 seconds right now. Um, they're
And
kind of announcing all the team players coming out, but what do you think about the casting selection in this movie? I know we're gonna get to it later on with getting Eddie or Ed Monix, who is played by Woody Harrelson. Um, but so far, I mean, this is kind of a stacked cast for what I mean, I guess you would say for this time in general, right? You had I think Step Brothers came out after this,
yeah,
but
2008.
even with the Step Brothers cast, you got the old school cast, and this is all referring to Will Ferrell's movies. Um, you got old school, you got Anchorman, obviously, but man, they had some heavy hitters back in this time, man. For especially for comedic relief, like one of my favorite characters in the movie is Lou Redwood, played by Will Arnett. Just his wittiness and his unprofessionalism. But I mean, what do you think, man? I mean, do you think that this was picked in a right way, especially adding Andre 3000 in it?
Yeah, like Andre 3000 was a good addition to it. He's had some movies at this point,
Yeah,
but
Four Brothers, I believe.
he wasn't really like known. I guess
Mhm.
I'm saying. But or he was known, of course, because it wasn't even because of his acting career; it was because of his music career.
Yeah.
Under 2000 or Outkast was his other big group.
Mhm.
But this the cast though for the basketball team, that's like it was okay. Like I kind of would have wished that we would have seen some more. How do you say it? Like more different players, I guess a little bit. Like I wish we would have seen. Like I love Akitis. I love Scotty Doubleday. You
Yeah.
know, but I just feel like there's a couple. I'm like, yeah, here we go. This is my favorite scene. You lose weight, Father Pat. Fuck off,
Father.
Becky.
And I don't have the cast pulled up on in front of me. I mean, I can, but Father Pat is played by who? And he's in a lot of Will Ferrell's movies as well.
Matt Walsh. Matt Walsh.
Matt
Yeah,
Walsh.
yeah,
Matt
Matt
Walsh.
Walsh. I love him in this movie. He makes me laugh so hard. And I love how he is in his priest outfit. So this is some of the stuff I like. All these teams that are in this movie.
Uh-huh.
Unfortunately, I don't know if Flint Tropics was actually a team,
Yeah,
but all the teams in this movie are actually ABA accurate.
that's pretty
Like,
cool.
yeah, like Jackie or Will Ferrell and them did a really good job with that. Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny too because Jason Sudeikis is only in it this part in the whole
Well,
movie.
well, that's the best thing. That's where I think I wish I would have seen more. And why I say that is like we know Will Ferrell has a good relationship with most people on SNL because he was a cast member on
Yeah,
SNL. And we do see him, or Jason Sudeikis, and we also see Kristen Wiig later on.
yeah.
So I wish we would have seen more SNL alum
Hmm.
person. There's Coffee Black right there, or downtown funky stuff Malone.
Yeah. Was it downtown funky stuff Malone, and then is it Sugar Dunkington?
Yeah,
Is next, and then it's Coffee Black,
yeah.
right?
The only thing, the one thing I always think about this is when you see his mom in the stands, it makes me feel like Kevin Durant.
Oh yeah.
it's
I love I love the ABA ball, the red, white, and blue. That looks good.
iconic. It's an
Yeah, it looks
iconic
good.
ball.
I also really enjoy I mean whoever the costume designer was on this by making the uniforms for the Flint Tropics.
Mhm.
Dude, those colors go, man. Those
Yeah,
colors go. I mean, I love the appearance of the basketball court as we're seeing right now.
yeah.
But dude, just those uniforms are badass.
Yeah,
Like
I
I got
love the blue ones though. I love just the normal teal ones where it's just teal and a
yeah.
little bit of orange. I don't like the white ones as much. I like
Mhm.
the teal. The teal makes me think of the Miami Dolphins. When you look
Yeah.
at the colors of that
100%.
jersey. Yep, here's the 10,000.
Dukes. Dukes, where you from? Flint, Michigan.
Oh yeah, this is the other guy I want to bring this up. Dukes.
He's like, Dukes is homegrown. I think I smell a little something else that's a little homegrown. Yeah, man. But yeah, what were you gonna get into about
Yeah,
Dukes?
I'm gonna bring that up right now
I
here.
think it's funny how they kind of throughout the whole movie, it goes back to Dukes, and we're about to get to the main point right
This
here with Dukes.
this
He's going to go
this
ahead.
is the weird part for me. This is an actor that plays Duke, who plays Duke. It's Jackie Earl Haley. This guy's known to play a little bit more serious roles. And
Really?
yeah, well, you gotta remember he's in RoboCop. He's the Freddy Krueger, the recent Freddy Krueger. There's a lot of things this guy's in. It just seems weird that he
Yeah,
and he makes a shot.
it's a shot. Yeah,
he make, Holy shit, I'm a
he stepped over the
miracle.
line. No, it was legal.
I love it.
Who the hell
Come
has
on.
$10,000? The beer company will pay for it. Not really a sponsor. It just sounded professional. Dude, that shit is gold, man. Like, I love it. I love it so much, man. I love the
I love
country
I love
mascot. That's
the
great.
he's got no idea what's going on.
Right? He's won a giant check that says $10,000.
$10.
Way to word it there, huh?
And he takes it away like nothing.
Second half coming up. Damn it. Flint, the vehicle city. Um, I love this Cadillac he's driving too. It's
Yeah.
very, very 70s look for the whole movie. I mean, I know it's taking place in 76, and it really just look at the fur coat he's wearing, man. It's awesome. They never really did a period piece like his movie. Well, I guess you'd say Anchorman. Anchorman's late 70s or early 80s, I believe. Late, I'd say late. I'd say let's just say 70s.
I
But
love Jackie Moon and Ron Burgundy to meet up one day.
oh man,
That would be. I
we're so-
believe one of the teams is in San Diego, so that would have been perfect.
well, I'd like to think that
Yeah,
maybe it's in the same universe, right?
yeah, it's a
So
possibility. But that's I said, Ron Burgundy. Remember, because one of the teams they play in it is from San Diego,
mhm.
so that would have been perfect. Like, go fuck yourself, Flint Tropics.
You know what I think is so ironic too, and I've thought this since the beginning of when I first saw this movie is um how they're the Flint Tropics, and Flint, Michigan is probably one of the more colder places in the
Yeah,
country. It's not a tropical place whatsoever. And so the fact that they're named that is just it's hilarious.
let
But
me. So while the song's playing here, I want to talk about this with you because, of course, this is we know "Love Me Sexy" is the reason why he's able to buy the team and everything because it was like a multi-platinum song.
yep.
Um, and they use that money to go ahead and buy that. Which we'll find out the real truth behind the song later on. But I love the scene too, where they're actually talking about the possible closure of the ABA,
Mhm.
which was a real thing when ABA merged with the NBA. The NBA only took 4 teams, so this was a big thing. We know we got the Nets out of this, we got the Spurs out of this, we got the Pacers out of this, and who else did we get?
I love how he's wearing his
Yeah,
ice bags on his knee while he's wearing like a really nice suit.
but let's talk about. I want to talk about this with you, Pat, a little bit. Let's talk about. So we talked about the budget for this film and the flopness of it, but I did pull up his other movies
Yeah.
that came out about this. Okay, the budgets for Blades of Glory, which I believe came out about a year before this one did.
Hmm.
Budget for it was 61 million. They were a success with 140, pretty much 146 million worldwide. For Talladega Nights, it was 72.5 mil for the budget.
Yeah.
They made about 164 mil.
Okay.
Kicking and Screaming was 45 million. It was barely a success with 56 million. Why was this one a flop?
I don't know. I would have to say like maybe the appeal of Will Ferrell being in a basketball movie could have turned some people away from it.
Yeah.
Um, I also think, I mean, I don't know what it was like back then, but maybe
Right.
advertising for this movie also wasn't the greatest that it could have been, like promoting the movie, as opposed to Kicking and Screaming, which had, a legendary actor in it as Robert Duvall.
Right.
You also had a cameo appearance. I'm not, I wouldn't say cameo appearance, but you had Mike Ditka playing Mike Ditka in it. Um, it's just I think a little bit more star-studded than that. And it's a kids movie. There was a lot more people that could see it. This is also not a kids movie. So,
But yeah.
yeah.
And here's Todd Packer from The Office.
And it's David Ketchner, right? I
Yeah.
believe. Yeah.
Kushner. Yeah, Kushner. Yeah.
Yeah, he plays Champ Kind in Anchorman, and now he's the commissioner in the movie.
You want me to tell you one that would have been funny in this film? Steve Carell. Like, you imagine him, yeah,
Yes.
Steve Carell and
Well,
Paul
could
Rudd.
you imagine? I love the guy that plays Dick Pepperfield. But I could see Steve
I can see
Carell as Dick Pepperfield, and then but keep Will Arnett because Will Arnett's perfect as that role.
I could
But
see him being the one that also is kind of like always wants to be by Will Ferrell's side. Actually, no, I could see that being Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd would be funny.
there's too many possibilities in this movie as far as what you could do with it.
But
Um,
this is what's interesting here, and this is actually one of my favorite scenes of the whole movie because now we got all the ABA owners around a table,
yep.
and the commissioners pretty much tell them like, "Hey, we're merging. It is true, we're merging with an NBA." And Jackie's freaking like, "Yeah, we're gonna get in an NBA," but he warns them, "Hey, there's only 4 teams going," which was the truth. And I love how they focused on the history of this. Really,
Uh-huh.
like we said, and I said it was the Pacers, the Nets, the Spurs, and the Denver Nuggets that came up from this.
Okay. I mean, those are all legendary teams now, right?
Oh yeah,
You said the Spurs, the Pacers, the Nuggets, and who else?
and the Nets.
The Nets.
Yeah, because that's where we got Dr. J. That's where we get George Gervin is from the Spurs.
Yeah.
There's a lot of big
The
name people.
Spurs now. The Spurs have what, 4 or 5 championships after having
Well,
the
but
dynasty.
none of them I believe was won by George Gervin. Most of them were won by
Tim Duncan,
Tim Duncan,
Ginobili. Yeah.
Ginobili, Parker. You know,
Yeah. No, but I can't get over this set, man. Like just the whole 70s feel. They're smoking in the office. They're all drinking scotch right now.
I love that they, like you said, this is where we get the whole thing of Jackie pitches, hey, what if the four best team gets? But it's like the commissioner says too, it's like we have to go where it's marketable.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, Flint, Michigan is not marketable. But a lot of these teams that are now going to get axed are going like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah. Oh, Bob, that seems nice. All fair and all.
You want to be honest though, out of all the teams that were in that, why wouldn't you think somebody like San Diego would be chosen? Because San Diego's a pretty big sports market.
And what was their
You-
team's name? Is that the
See,
Colonel?
they were the sales. I'm pulling it up here. I have it here. They were the sales.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it probably could have been a thing. I mean, nowadays I probably wouldn't do it. San Diego's got a decent sports market now. Oh, no, they lost
Well,
the
not
Chargers,
now. Yeah, they lost the Chargers now.
which I never agreed with that move. I think they should have always kept the Chargers in San Diego. It just sounds better. The LA Chargers
Well,
like
we got LA Chargers and LA Rams, so we're just going back.
and they share a stadium. They share a stadium too. So I feel like is that the reason why you're trying to cut costs? I
But
don't
it's
know.
just like the A's, but the A's are in way more financial trouble than that. But
Yeah, I mean they've had a payroll of 30 million for the last 20 years. So I mean, yeah. But oh, here we see
Ed,
um
this is
Ed.
when we find out what he was traded for. He was traded for a stinking team washer.
This guy's an old warrior. Yeah, he old.
You trade. I love, I love Malone.
Dude, he's great, man. Like Andre 3000, it smells tropical.
You
in there.
traded for him?
He goes to throw the paper in the trash and misses. Dude, I love Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson's one of my favorite actors of all time. Beloved. He's got comedic relief. He's a serious actor. He's got kind of all ranges, you know.
Like,
I
would
don't
you
know if you
put
ever
him in like in a top 5 list, like where you would talk about like somebody like Robin Williams who can be
Yeah, man. He's got
versatile?
range, dude. He's got some serious range. I mean, like,
For him to start off in Cheers and be the actor he is now.
right, man? Like you know it best too. Kingpin is one of my favorite movies of all time. But just like comparing this movie, and then this guy goes and does a movie like Three Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri from the Coen brothers. Like
And he
that,
was nominated for a supporting actor for that role.
right? I mean, that's a completely different movie for an actor like this. And I think that just shows like how talented this guy really is. But I love his costume in it too, you know, getting that 70s look, got that hair. Here's the Tropics Weekly. Love the love the carpeted platform they're sitting on. um, and they're announcing, you know, that kind of what we just talked about too. They're announcing the abolition of the ABA, how they're going to merge into the NBA, but they're going to keep 4 teams, and the 4 best teams are going to get to go on.
Right.
So, and Jackie's like,
It
was
was
like, yeah, when I found out they needed a washing machine, I really had to pull the trigger on Here's Rob Corddry's appearance, or I guess introduction into this movie. And dude, this guy is awesome. This guy is fantastic. You know, he's in Blades of Glory.
Yeah.
I can't think.
He's in Harold and Kumar. He's
Yep,
in.
that's what I was gonna get. I love him in Harold in Escape from Guantanamo.
Guantanamo Bay.
That's a tongue twister for me, man.
Yeah. You should watch Few Good Men then more.
Uh-huh.
But I want to talk about Myra Turner.
Maura Tierney, yeah.
Yeah, this is another role that you would not suspect her to play.
Yep.
that she is more of a serious actress. But she did play in The Office shortly after, or not too far out after, because we find out she is the wife of Robert California. But she
Oh,
is
okay.
actually really fun in this movie. I really enjoy her character because we find out Monix and her have that relationship in the past and he cheated on.
Mhm.
And but but see, my favorite movie, and it's one that you've said you could go back and forth on. I like her in Insomnia. She
Yeah.
is in Insomnia. She's the hotel like manager,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and she's the one that kind of gets into the mind about you.
She's the mom in Liar Liar.
Yeah, I
She's
forget that.
and also on a new release movie, A24's new release, she's in the Iron Claw.
Yeah,
Plays
yeah.
Mrs. Von Erich. She's the mom. No, she's been around for a long time too. And I think, to put her in this movie, I do think with movies like these, especially from Will Ferrell or just this kind of genre of movies, they always have to have a couple of serious actors, right? Because there are some semi-serious points, obviously like they're talking about the relationship. This is kind of like the love factor of the movie. And then we're getting to it. This is a good one right here.
But yeah, this is so. Of course, we find that like he before we get to this scene here, we'll go into a little bit. Of course, Ed Monix is kind of like, "Hey, I can't believe I'm just traded," but it's like he's starting to finally realize he's becoming a little washed up. And
Yes.
getting to the point where it's like, okay, I'm gonna have to retire soon. So now going back to his old love interest, it's like, hey, it's time for me to settle down. And
Mhm.
Tim Meadows in this film too.
Dude, he's great. That's another guy we didn't mention too.
Yeah, Tim.
He's another SNL guy, SNL
Yeah,
alumni.
yeah, but to me, it's like after other than some of having some of the newer, because you gotta remember, Jason Sudeikis and Kristen Wiig were just starting their, I guess, their tenure with SNL, and other than that, there's not a lot of people from SNL in this film. And
Mm-mm.
it kind of like to me for how good he is with the SNL cast, other than Chris Kattan, which everybody knows him from Night at the Roxbury.
Yeah.
He's not
Yeah.
really. He doesn't really have a lot of people.
Like
And
Chris Kattan.
Chris Kattan, Chris Kattan, yeah, my bad, Chris Kattan. It's one of those things like yeah, those two do not have a good relationship at all anymore, and it's sad because
Oh, they
those
don't.
told
Well, I know he had a big drug problem. I know that.
but they no, they had they I believe they've had a falling out.
Oh, really? Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I love Chris Kattan, but his career didn't really pan out to be what it should have been, or what it
Sure.
could have been, I guess you'd say.
It's one of those actors like, he would have been better if he just stayed with SNL a little bit longer, but I don't think that ever happening again.
Yeah.
And now they had Arbor because I was the only
Dude, I
you
fucking love
jive turkey.
I can't get enough of Will Arnett, dude. That guy is so perfect.
You
You
know
know,
my favorite role with him in it, and it's not even what you think. It is Lego Batman. Just to see
I
the
had a feeling you would say that to me, knowing you.
but I like him in that because he's one of those characters. When you watch him in Lego movie, that's the Batman like you
Yeah.
expect.
Yeah, yeah.
It's supposed to be comical. It's supposed to be kiddish. And I think Will Arnett does. There's a reason why he is now the Lego Master host. There's things like that that's really good.
Yeah.
Dry turkey is a little over the line, my man.
He called you yeah, he just said you suck
I
cock.
don't
That's
know
what
how
they said
that.
about
I
you.
don't even know how that's better, but okay.
Right? We're playing games, don't we? Yeah, we do. We're
Dig
playing
into
one
that fondue, you.
right now. Dude, I love fondue. You ever had fondue?
Yes, I have.
It's
I've done it
delicious.
once.
But who's the
Now,
judge?
now I want to bring this scene up. This now, of course, Will Arnett pulls out the gun. We know he's a veteran at
Hmm.
this point. Can I be honest? Did they reference Deer Hunter here a little bit
I
with
mean,
Russian Roulette?
I mean, I guess you could for the time frame. I mean, what that movie came out in 78 or 79, I believe.
Right.
So I'll see you in hell, cocksucker. or Funny Sexy is the worst song I've ever heard. What if I watch this? I did call you Jive Turkey. Did you ever see The Ladies Man?
Yes, I've watched it once though. I'm not a big like. I
Only
like
seen it
Tim
once
Meadows,
myself.
but I think Tim Meadows is one of those guys. Like I can either deal or not deal with.
Yeah.
And
Well, go ahead. Sorry.
I just don't know how else to explain it a little
Uh,
bit. James Bond. Yeah.
Dude, he just shot at his dick.
Yeah.
Oh, and then he throws
Yeah.
it down. It ricochets. Everyone seems to be all right. Anyone hit? I love that flannel he's wearing.
Yeah.
Dude, again, man, I love the costumes in this, man. They're really
Imagine what was it? Anderson doing Wes Anderson doing this movie?
oh, oh, I did get shot.
Except for Cornelius.
Man, yeah, that's such a good set, man. They got some really good sets in this movie. They really do, man. And you know how you're
The bus. The bus is the jet, and it's like they most rusted down.
so
All right.
I'm gonna rewind it. Right now we're at 25 minutes and 53 seconds. Right now everyone's kind of fascinated over Ed Monix's NBA championship ring. So
But we're gonna find out too later on that he doesn't feel like he deserves it. That's why he hides it.
yeah.
I do like it because I like Ed Monix in this film. Now, Monix, let me ask you this: you know the reference to Ed Monix in this movie?
We've talked about it off air, but yeah, I mean it makes sense there. I feel like they're referring a little bit to Munson.
Yeah, they are.
Munson from Kingpin, which is one of the greatest sports movies of all time.
In your eyes, but
in my eyes,
in your eyes, at least. Dragon. But you'll see, like, there's a little resentment for Coffee Black to Munix a little bit in the beginning of the film because there's that sense of you see that he doesn't respect the player. Now, mind you, they did play against him in the ABA, and he was always a fighter. So, but he's always said that he's the one that kind of brings up the whole thing, like, you only snatched the ring, you did not play for the ring.
Yep.
I got a ring up here too, and mine says love.
ELE. Well, I guess we'll find that out later, but everyone will love everybody. Oh my god, do you see the mascot in the background here? The jet?
Yes. 11 more hours to go.
What's that team's name? The Spirit?
Spirit of St. Louis.
St. Louis Spirits. Okay.
See, I like these jerseys. I like the teal jerseys.
Yeah.
There
suck my cock, I'll murder your family. You said S my C. That's one of my favorite lines in the whole movie, dude. And one lucky fan will go home with a game ball. Yeah, but I mean,
my alleged son, he won't make this.
Maybe your mother didn't go to heaven. Oh. And then he pulls everyone off. I love that. I love that point out. He doesn't say anything, but he just points at him. He's like, "No, you're out of line."
I'm sorry. and then even the announcers leave with him.
I love how they have the arena set up for hockey.
Yeah.
They have the hockey wall in the
We
glass.
gotta remember, some of these arenas were pretty much wherever they could play ball too. And
yeah.
And where the score is inconclusive tonight.
Like, we go to church, Dick. He's like, not anymore.
Not anymore. And he just really dashes off.
The check, they won't. Here we go. Here's Dukes again with his large check that says $10,000 on it. Can you just give me a regular size check? Maybe you should go to a different bank, maybe a big bank. He's like, yeah, that could work. It's so funny, man.
A big check department.
Oh, they're playing video games, dude. What could they be playing? Pong,
which was big during this time. This was the start of the video game industry.
But get off the
Turn
phone.
that contraption off.
So now they gotta. So now there's a little bit of a stipulation within that agreement that they went over in the beginning of the movie, and now they have to average 2,000 fans per game, which I think really comes into play with, or I should say, Jackie's promotional skills
Right.
start to come in, and we start to see some ridiculous things that he does, which are awesome, and they make the movie what it is right now, and
You
the
got to
movie.
remember that kind of is what sets the movie in motion. Where okay, Jackie's now can't be the coach and the player; he has to be the owner. You
Yeah.
know, and that's where you see Munnix take up and go, okay, I'll be the coach for you.
Hmm.
You know, because I played in these leagues. I've played and I have more experience than you. You
They're putting
know, there's
eyeliner
Anaheim.
on.
Anaheim, yeah.
Yeah, Anaheim. Do you know the name of that team?
So at this time, it's the Conquistador or the Conquistadors.
Okay.
They were the Sales at one point, which had I think the reason why too they went with this. Um, so there's Munson right there. Munson scored Monix and Munson. Munson is so you get the little, but
Twiggy Munson.
I hate their stupid eye mascara crap that they put on their
And
eyes.
it starts the burbiquitis. Oh, ah, what's wrong with him? Oh shit, your eyeliner's running. Everyone starts.
They're kind of smoky too.
Oh shit. This is great, man. I love. Hey, by the way, we kind of see it there in the background, but I love the look of the basketball hoops. Nowadays they're different,
Oh
but
yeah,
like,
they're more protected because of some people like Shaq coming in there and ripping down the hoop. But
yeah. Well, also people running at it at about 15 miles an hour and then having to stop right away. That I wouldn't want to. It almost looks like it's just made out of scaffolding. Um,
so here's where the fight starts.
yeah, they're about to get in a fight, but they're like, the commissioner is watching. He's like, if you want to be in the merger, we gotta wait. So this is kind of, look at that great 70s set of his house. I can't get over it. Um,
I do like this. So what about during commercial?
yep,
I like
yep.
it. That's good.
With not. And it shows David Ketchner's character at home with his family watching. It goes to commercial. He's like, somebody. Oh, the bench is clear. Here we go. That's so good, man.
and
I can't get over in the background, and they don't really show it too much, but the mascots for the Tropics. Some guy just in a tree outfit. It's
this is
fucking
the guy you would see up on the stage being like, I was a tree.
yeah, right. Yep. Look at the tree in the background, man. And it goes as look at that old school Shasta
love,
soda commercial.
I love the announcers. I could hurt somebody.
Hits him with the shoe. Father Pat's trying to stop him, struggling.
And he's like grabbing onto the ankle.
3, 2, 1.
2, 1.
And we're back to our ABA game of the week. And I'll tell you, the spirit and camaraderie is on full display tonight. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, you got that right.
That's so good, man. Dude, Will Arnett's perfect for this movie. And
That's how you play basketball.
I like how Monix is the only guy that's not kind of giving into Jackie's, stuff,
Well, well, it's like we just said too. It's the whole sense of this is where Jackie's going to have to start being a promoter,
Yeah.
an owner, and Monix is going to take up the coaching abilities and teach this team right, so this team can be successful if they make the merge.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and now he wants to run. He's like, we need to run some plays. He's like, I'm not a tactician, but
I'm not an X nose guy.
I think that, like you were saying too, I mean, that's kind of where I think it's kind of good for this team having a veteran in Ed Monix, right? To kind of lead them. This guy say what you want about him. The guy is technically an NBA champion, though he might have been on the bench the whole time. But he still has that experience in the professional league.
Right.
And you know, we need a game plan, Jackie. But no, I just he adds that seriousness to the team, but he's also here to be funny. And he has his funny moments, I should say.
We talked about this too because like we have Woody Harrelson, things like that.
Mhm.
Now the question is too, do you feel like they put them in these movies? Because it's like I guess I would never question this, but I'm gonna say it. You remember, and I never thought I'd bring this up on a podcast, so I'm gonna do it. Remember the movie 43 that they did with all the actors, and it's kind of like a
Yeah, movie 43
you,
with
yeah,
different skits, right?
yeah,
You have
because it was
you have
everybody's
so
watching.
much you have so much poop on you.
Yeah, it's one of those movies like, and we know why because a lot of those actors were like, I want to go, I want to leave,
Mhm.
I want my contract over. So you put them all in this movie and did it. Do you kind of feel that with like people like Woody Harrelson and stuff that kind of like maybe he wanted out of his contract, or there was other things that were kind of in there where it's like I don't want to be part of this, and then they put him in this movie anyway to get it out of it.
I don't I don't feel that way, and I'm gonna say that only because like the guy has had such a range of movies. I mean, the guy worked with the Farrelly brothers, who were known as comedic geniuses within the 90s and early 2000s, and they have their own movies nowadays, you know.
Right.
But I mean, like the Farrelly brothers, they had Dumb and Dumber, which is one of the greatest comedies of all time. They
Yeah.
had they had Kingpin, obviously, which he starred in, and they had Something About Mary. And I
Right.
think for that, I don't think that. I think this is a perfect role for what his character is trying to be.
Right.
Um, and it just like I said, this guy has had plenty of serious roles, and he's had plenty of comedic roles. I mean, the guy was in Hunger Games for crying out loud. So
Well, that's what I mean. Like just his wide range of acting. It's kind of one of those movies I feel like was Woody Harrelson trying to get out of a contract at this point. And they just said, "Oh, we're going to put you in semi-pro," and that's how it is. Or but I see
now
it right now. Seeing Tom.
I see this being honestly like, and you know how Will Ferrell's a big producer as well, right? I could totally see Will Ferrell hitting Woody Harrelson up and being like, "Hey, like we got this role in this movie we're gonna be making. I can see you being, I see you as the role for it, especially with, him being in a sports background for with
A
Kingpin,
lot of and White Men Can't Jump is another
White
big
Man Can't Jump's another great one,
one.
right? And yeah, and I also think that I mean I don't know Woody Harrelson personally, obviously, but
I'm
I
not.
would say
Why not?
no, we should have him as a guest. Um, but what I was gonna say is like he might actually be a basketball fan.
Yeah, like I will mind you. Let me tell you something. This is the movie I feel like they had a missed opportunity here. Okay, we know, of course, like we just said, Woody Harrelson is also in a very another very iconic basketball movie, White Men Can't Jump,
Yeah.
with his duo Wesley Snipes.
Hmm.
You want me to be honest about this? I feel like this was a missed opportunity to have Wesley Snipes as like a background. I know I don't think Wesley Snipes would do it, but it's the point that
Oh,
they could have tried to have that.
well,
And I think
I
with Woody
think
Harrelson, it would have been like he would have
well you
been.
got to also think with Wesley Snipes with his legal issues around this
Oh
time.
yeah, I forgot about that.
The whole tax evasion issue.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't think they would have been able to work it, and he probably would want too much money, would be my guess, considering how much issues they had with him on Blade and doing those movies.
Well,
Uh,
remember that wasn't New Line Cinema and stuff too. That was Sony. If I'm not
yeah,
mistaken.
but what I'm saying is like I know I've seen snippets of how
He wouldn't work with the directors.
he just wouldn't work with yeah, exactly. He wouldn't work with the directors. He was difficult on set, and I this seems like a movie where to me it looks like the cast had fun making this movie, in my opinion.
I love this scene too. Where he had the mascots, or they're all dressed up, and you see Will Ferrell's the son, and everybody else is flamingos, and
Hmm.
they're like, "Oh, yeah." When Monix comes in, he's like, "Hey, I got your costume over there." He goes, "No, we're here to practice. Like, we're here to do."
What's
But
your favorite mascot right now? What's your favorite suit you think out of all those right now?
oh, I was to say, are you asking me in real life or are you asking me in this movie?
I don't know mascots. I'm just
I'm
seeing
going.
what.
If I had to do real life, it's Benny the Bull. You cannot have that conversation not putting Benny the Bull from the Bulls up there in conversation. Every
Benny
time
the.
you say a TikTok, you know he's gonna make you laugh. He's
Yeah,
gonna do something, and I think they're
I
really
love.
good.
I love the sun outfit he's wearing.
The sun outfit, yes, I do agree. It's just because it's just
It's
I think it's
obnoxious.
the most detailed, and all the other ones are like there. Monix or
Someone's wearing a seahorse.
Bronchitis. Yeah, bronchitis is a tree.
So right now we got Monix talking to Jackie about, they kind of want is this the part? I don't know if I'm missing it, but he kind of wants to focus on playing basketball and
Be-
not doing the goofy shit. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like the whole sense of Jackie is trying to think, how can I bring people here?
Mhm.
And that's not, and it's like Monix is trying to tell him too. It's like, yeah, that's part of it, but you got to remember, we still have to play ball. We still
Yeah.
have to bring fans in and have a fan base that it actually looks good on us.
Yep.
And I love that. Like it's a sense of this is what becomes a great duo because Jackie is one of those guys like, hey, I'll market the heck out of this team.
Yeah.
It can't always be the star, but Monix is going to be the one that goes, okay, we're going to make you a basketball.
Uh-huh. And I think that's also, like you were saying too, I mean, this is really where the promotional arts of Jackie Moon's character start to come out, right? We're going to start to see this team building up some steam right now, especially with Monix kind of taking control of the basketball operations and the way the team functions throughout games.
Right.
Um, let the man talk. I I
Fuck.
love Andre 3000, man. He's great. I love his
Thank you,
music.
Clarence.
I love Outkast. Outkast is great.
What's
Um,
your favorite Outcast song? Let me ask you that.
you know, I think Roses,
Roses.
Roses, just that intro piano little lick right there. Um, but I also, whenever I hear that song, I'll turn it up super loud in my car and just sing to it. And I know every word to the song too. So
um, I have a few. I like. This might be an odd one. I do like Rosa Parks that they do.
yes, yes.
Parks is a great one. Miss Jackson, of course. I
Oh,
can
of
Miss
course.
Jackson. Sorry, Miss Jackson. I
Ooh, I
read.
am for real.
Um, what was it? That was the other one. Hey Ya, of course, is an instant.
Yeah, Hey is great. Yeah.
Instant.
Hey is, it's crazy is I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but or heard they make some really good covers of Hey Ya.
Yeah.
They sound like an actual sad song. And if you listen to the lyrics of that song, they are really sad.
Yeah.
Um
This is another one too. Oh yeah, this is my very same. Like we're gonna make you puke, and we're not using a ball.
I've
We're
never puked in my life.
yeah.
I've never puked in my life ever. Ever.
Sure. I've just well, babies throw up all the time. My mom said I never did it. I swear. She said I was fascinating. The local PBS wanted to do a documentary on me.
He's like, what's the genungium? It's the part of the small intestine. I've been punched in my armpit before. And the wrist twice.
The weird places to be in.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Costa said both eyes, and I've been punched right in the tree.
I
Well, you
honestly
gotta
didn't
learn
know
what puking is.
I didn't know the genungium was an actual body part
Yeah,
before this movie.
there he goes. I love this scene too, where he's gonna tackle him down. Uh, uh, get a hold of yourself, Jackie. Let go. Hold it in, Jackie. Hold it in. God damn it.
So yeah, like you said, or like we said earlier too, the tropics, and it's right in the middle of winter. It's very tropical right now.
Team
Would you
number.
say that hey, can you not or is this when he says, can you not smoke while
Yeah.
at the table? He's like, I smoke when I drink.
How do you like the old Nets uniforms here? So these are the Nets they're playing right now.
Sorry, I'm at a part where it's not showing me exactly.
So the Nets, this is their iconic blue, red, and stars.
Oh, that's right. It's free corn dog night.
Pretty corn dog. What do you think about those jerseys, Pat? The old net uniforms.
I'm waiting for it to show me real quick.
Let's not win by too much. The hell, corn dogs.
Real quick, too, guys. We are at 45 minutes and 34 seconds. This is a little cue for you folks back at home, if you're wanting to sync up this movie with the podcast. Man, it's still not showing me the. I'm
Can we
waiting.
just run the clock out? We run the offense.
We don't have corn dogs.
Uh-huh.
Let's get tropical. Oh yeah, okay. I do like those. I like the stars on the side.
As I said, these are the old iconic where you see Dr. J play. I'll give it to Clarence.
Oh, they were playing New York earlier in the game. Or earlier in the movie, I
And
meant.
they did that was their first game.
But
Come on, let's play some defense.
this is so funny. He's like, he'll go to his right.
It's going to his right.
Just he blocks his own teammate's shot. Jackie Moon blocks his own. A loose ball at the court. Vakaitis gets it. It's if they score a certain amount of points, right?
It's 125, and they only need one basket to do it.
And Vakaitis is looking at him like,
what the hell?
They done it. Oh, Vakaitis made the shot. They scored 126 points. Corn dogs, Jackie. Corn dogs, Jackie.
Oh, corn dogs.
Man, I love Matt Walsh, dude. Like
he's that one guy that you go, here, Jackie gets a victory lap right out the door.
So here we're starting to see the actual the leadership of Ed Monix, right? How he's guiding everyone, he's showing everyone different plays, fundamentals, stuff like that. He's actually making this team
better,
a team that it can be, right? And Sugar Duckington dancing to the music. I love if you had to now he's coffee black. Now here we go. So he will stay coffee black for the rest of the film.
Okay, let me ask you this. What would you say is your favorite nickname from back then? Because they do that because there was a lot of nicknames. The Iceman, George Gervin, Dr. J. What would you say is your favorite iconic?
I think I like Dr. J, to be honest. Dr. J is a very iconic name.
Yeah. I put the Iceman up there. Iceman is up there for me. George Gervin is an amazing player for the Spurs. Still is to this very day. But we finally are seeing the success, like you said, with the team and everything and how this team is going.
The chemistry too. The chemistry is starting to mesh together, right? They're really getting to it. What hearts? Those big, bouncy, jiggly hearts. Now I'm starting to think you're talking about something else, Lou. Dude, I love their chemistry, man, between Dick Pepperfield and Lou Redwood.
Right.
They're great. It's a yin and yang type deal. Oh, wow. And a bang!
And we finally see Lynn up there in the stands now, watching Monix play.
Countdown to the end. So we just saw they just kind of panned to the standings a little bit and it kind of zoomed out. But they're currently in 5th place. So they're right in that top 4. They're almost in that top 4. They're a spot behind. And it's kind of crazy to see where this team was at the beginning of the season, right? Where they didn't have many fans. And because of, the promotional dealings with Jackie Moon doing what he does and this team being successful, this team has really turned it around. And I think that's crazy. And that's, And it's what's making this movie what it is, right?
It,
Um,
yeah, this is why I said it's one of these movies that I don't. It's weird how this movie flopped.
yeah,
Like,
I don't get how it flopped. Well, like I talked about earlier too, I really do think, if you're gonna compare it to Kicking and Screaming, obviously that's a family movie. This is not a family movie. This is very raunchy.
but what's compared to a movie that is pretty raunchy that came out shortly after this one? Let's compare it to Step Brothers. To me, out of those two movies, and I'm gonna put it out there, out of these two movies for Semi Pro and that
Hmm.
and Step Brothers, it's shocking to me that Step Brothers didn't do way worse. And
Really?
well, here's a reason why. That movie to me is very raunchy, or sometimes you don't even know what the story is.
Hmm.
See what I'm saying? This is at least a complete story, and there's comedy in it. There's bigger name actors in this film. Like what was it? In Step Brothers, you only got really a few, and some of them were just up and coming.
No,
Yeah,
I mean, I to be honest with you, man, I would say, well, obviously with John C. Riley being in it, John C. Riley was a well-established actor at this
and
point.
they already had a movie together, which was successful, which was Talladega Nights.
Yes,
No.
Talladega Nights. Um,
Okay, Ricky.
but you also got to think about John C. Riley. I mean, John C. Riley before all that was already successful. Like the guy starred in three Paul Thomas Anderson movies.
Yeah, but
So, and you got Mary Steenburgen, who is also a well-established actress at that point, who plays the mom. And then Richard Jenkins is another guy that was in it that
but
was
but
very successful before
but
him.
when you compare this cast to that to Semi Pros cast, it just shocks me why this one's such a flop. And
Yeah.
that something like Step Brothers really wasn't. And I
Uh,
understand the comedy is, but see to me, if the raunchiness in this comedy bothers somebody and it doesn't bother them in Step Brothers,
yeah.
I think that's my other big thing. Like, how can you say this movie bothers you with raunchiness, and yet you watch something like Step Brothers and it's not raunchy to you?
Well, I also think too, and I know I mentioned it earlier in the podcast, but I do think that this movie just didn't have the advertising that
Yeah.
Step Brothers did. You know what I mean? Like Step Brothers was, dude, I remember seeing Step Brothers in theaters when it came out, dude. I went with my parents. My parents let me see it, thankfully. I mean, I
I
fucking
remember watching this with my mom. I remember watching Step Brothers with my mom, and I didn't really care for it. And I think it was just because I never really grew up with a lot of the raunchiness comedy and stuff.
yes,
So
I
it was
get it.
harder for me to get into. But I think this one, even though with the raunchiness of the comedy, it's still fun to watch. It's still like there
So I don't know what he was doing right there. He was doing some
is doing a halftime show.
send me to the moon. Great job. And everyone survives. I forget.
That was exciting.
We don't bring up this guy. So this guy is like the team. Uh,
Kind of
not the team.
liaison a little bit, like or his their announcer, or because mind you, you have the other two that are their broadcasting group. This is
Uh,
more kind of like your announcer, other than Jackie. Like he's kind of like his liaison, like his right hand guy when it
mhm.
comes to anything with the business, anything with the team.
Yeah, I think he just mentioned that the commissioner called. He,
Yeah, because the commissioner is coming into town at this
yeah,
point.
that's right. Okay, that's what it was. So I missed the. I was trying to read it and I missed it.
Yeah.
It's the hard part about playing these movies a little bit, not at full volume when you can't hear 'em. Trying to read the
That's, I
subtitles.
think, like a guarantee. Are we back, Chuck? Okay, welcome back to the Tropics Weekly.
Always, Dick Pepperfield. Actually, he called him Dick Pepper.
Yeah.
How do you intend to match up to the Squire's strong inside game? It's a great question. Tomorrow after the game, I, Jackie Moon, will wrestle a bear. That did not answer his question at all.
I want to talk about this quick while this seems going. What's this? Because we do see them wrestle the bear here in a moment. What's this obsession with fighting bears? I don't understand this. Like, because this is not the first time he's done it. He did it in Anchorman.
Right.
Really even oh yeah, he did wrestle him because he was like, this is the right time to confess your love when I'm sitting here fighting.
Right. Yeah, man, I don't know. Do you think it was like a I mean, let's see. Semi-Pro came out in '08, so it's a 5-year difference. Yeah, I don't know if there's really any connection to that. I think maybe that just the thought of him wrestling a bear was going to be just the way to go.
Are you
Especially,
really
I think
gonna
also, what's that?
are you really gonna wrestle a bear?
Look at him in the wrestling ring, dude. What do you think about the steel cage? Is it you
It's
think it's up to
WWE time.
you think it's up to your standards and it's all made with chicken wire, it seems like.
There's Kristen Wiig.
Oh yeah. Look
You
at
gotta
her.
give me your safe word.
Here
Simone.
we go. So this is after
I
the game,
mean,
right? That they're doing this?
no, this is actually during halftime.
Oh my god. I thought he said after the game, that's why I brought it up.
And Clarence is in there as the referee. It's like, why would you put your hey?
We're both wearing red. Um
Super Jackie.
Dude, so that's another thing too, is Kristen Wiig was in a lot of these movies too, just not a big role. Like another one that came out a year before this, is Walk Hard,
Yeah.
and she was
Right.
the wife in Walk Hard.
Well, like I said, like
Well, the first wife, I should say. But
yeah, like this one is where this is why somebody like Will Ferrell, for how many years he put in with SNL, for how many years he has had with SNL, he has good connections. And to me, having that where you can bring in like Jason Sudeikis and Kristen Wiig in this film are amazing. But remember, at this time, they weren't really big people. They were
Mhm.
kind of just starting. I'm crazy with I'm coming with crazy fists.
He's just doing little chops, little karate chops at the bear. Flint Cage. Oh, and there's dude, how do you think this is gonna play out? You're fighting a 400-pound bear. The bear's name is Dewey, by the way, which I don't know if they're paying homage to Dewey Cox. Maybe it's just me.
I love it. It's like, no, one round, no Spumoni. Fuck you, Clarence. Spumoni.
Oh, the commissioner's coming in.
Yeah. Watch my hair. Again, another reference to Anchorman, because that was what was that? What was it? No touching
Yeah,
of
right.
head or face
Yeah,
or face.
of course.
How many times I gotta say Spumoni?
How many times? Was the safe word too was Spumoni, right?
Yeah.
We're at 58 minutes and 48 seconds.
Turn on
Just
the lights.
guys, a little time cue.
Oh, he moved.
Where are you, precious? Oh my goodness. I
You want
love
me to tell
those
you what
old
that sounded
school.
like?
I love that. What's that?
You want me to tell you what that sounded like when he whispers like
What's
that?
that?
You ever watch Charlie the Unicorn YouTube video? Charlie, we're going to
Charlie, Charlie found Candy Mountain. Charlie. Yeah, that's an
the
old reference.
reaper will be escaping with the bear. Cover your sodas. Dewey loves sugar.
Oh, and here we go with the commissioner is kind of drop some bad news to Jackie, right? Um, Basically saying at this point that the deal that we had beforehand with the 4 teams is no longer a thing. Um, Even if you beat the Spurs on Saturday, the Tropics won't be going to the NBA next year. And the committee itself kind of they have a meeting saying that there's not a big enough media market basically for this team and some of the other teams in general. And and it kind of sucks too because it's like why would they make this deal beforehand and then basically pull the rug out from underneath them? You know what I mean?
But you got to remember too, and I think that's kind of was the whole thing when the ABA was merged, is that a lot of these teams weren't marketable. These teams
Yeah.
were not going to be on the same range as the Boston Celtics and the LA Lakers. There was teams that were just like, okay, we can't market them, but the weird one to me was Indiana. I don't know why. Sorry, Indiana Pacer fans, if you guys are listening to this, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Out of all teams you could really choose,
Hmm.
why was the Indiana Pacers one of them?
Right. I mean, they've had some success. I don't think they've never won a championship,
No, I
right?
think this is
They
the
just
first year they actually went close. I
no,
think.
they had Reggie Miller when Reggie
Oh, yeah,
Miller.
they did. Yeah, they went to rounds like this, but this was like their first year in quite some time. They've made it this far.
Oh, to the conference finals. Yeah.
Because it was Tyrese Halliburton that took them up that way and his team.
Yeah.
Pascal and all them were really good on that team.
Hmm. Yeah. This is I could puke this all away. I love the soundtrack in this movie too. It's got
Yeah.
some good 70s funk music to it.
That's something else I want to bring up. Like, do you think? I do feel like with somebody like Andre 3000, do you think he had say in the music?
Um, maybe, maybe not, but I also think they were trying to fit the era of
Yeah.
this movie. They're not gonna pull a Great Gatsby, and I'm talking about the earliest or the newest one where they put all this modern music in it, which where it doesn't fit.
Right.
Um,
Now, at this time, this is when everybody kind of goes back to their old businesses and stuff, and we find out Clarence or Coffee Black has been offered a contract with the San Antonio Spurs.
yeah. He just sprayed painted bullshit on his kids' wall. And here we
And then the
see
bear gets attacking. The other. Oh, actually, we're down to our last night. Ooh, shit.
and this is a big moment, I think, between these two characters, right? Between Monix
Clarence, Monix.
and Coffee Black, yeah, where they kind of find this mutual respect for each other, right? They've figured out, especially all this stuff they've gone through beforehand, um, realizing like they kind of helped each other out, right? They kind of helped each other see the possibilities of their own success.
Well, it's like a sense too. Like we find out that Monix or not Monix, Clarence was not just picked up; he was traded to the Spurs, meaning Jackie traded
Hmm.
the Spurs. So in some ways, Jackie's still trying to look out for the team. Like some of these guys do have a future; they need to go, and so somebody
Well,
like Coffee is going to go.
and I think we can all say that Coffee is easily the best player on the team.
Yeah, Monix is the veteran. Clarence is more your rookie. Like
And
he's
like what we talked about too is Monix is kind of on his way out, right? I mean, the
he
guy
has
got
an NBA
traded for
ring.
a washing machine.
Yeah. He was on, he's already earned his championship ring. He had his NBA run. Now he's in his later years.
Hmm.
But yeah, out of everybody, yeah, I think Clarence deserved it more than anybody else.
And he was going to give Clarence his NBA championship ring, but
Yeah.
Clarence was like, I think you should hold on to it because you are a champion. I'm a
I
big
love
fake.
Faker, and I
I
still
want
think
to.
it's sexy.
Right now, I'm urinating on myself. He like takes his hand off like immediately.
I've never thanked you.
Again, man, the costumes in this are fantastic. Look at that suit he's wearing. I would wear the shit out of that suit.
I wouldn't.
Of course you wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
I'm
Sorry.
sure if it had a Batman print on it, though, you'd be like down for it. No, not even that. If it had the logo of
I'm
Batman
not.
on it,
I'm not a blazer guy. I'm not a guy that wears the suits. I don't like that. And I would think,
you don't like the turtleneck?
God, not even.
So he kind of pulls them out of the dumpster. They're having a team meeting now at Jackie's bar. And he's kind of thanking them for their hard work being on the Flint Tropics.
It's like him kind of making like this is my like his big moment. Like I gotta motivate the team, keep the morale up.
Yeah. Even though we know we're going to be done at the end of the season, right? We got to keep morale up. You know, some of you may not understand, but kind of just like, but I forget. Is it Bobby? Is that his name? Bobby D?
Bobby D's in the movie,
The
yeah.
son who's exactly the same age as me.
You're kind of like a half son, half friend.
Son friend.
Son friend. Don't make it work. You're gonna make it. You don't talk. You make it worse.
So we got Mr. Ed Monix. So I have a question for you too.
Hmm.
You've seen Kingpin.
Yeah.
You've seen this movie, obviously. What do you think is the better sports? Oh, well, also let's throw in Billy Hoyle from White Man Can Jump. What do you think is his best portrayal as a sports figure in within those three movies? What's that?
Or White Man Can Jump. I
Do
think
you think
it's.
White Man Can Jump?
Well, I think that's more of his flow. It was a mixture. Like this movie's a mixture of great comedy and with him, kind of more like that. I got to bring a little bit more seriousness into this.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
I feel like that it's meant to be a comedy. When you look at something like White Man Can't Jump, it's a little serious and a little bit of comedy. And I think Woody Harrelson does really great at that, where he can be both. It's not, it's just it's one of those things like having that cockiness by playing ball kind of thing, like the drama of the playing ball, but that little cockiness inside works well for that. So I would say White Man
Yeah.
Can't Jump would be his best.
And I agree with that too. I mean, if you're looking for like a more cinematic role of him, being serious, I think that is the movie for sure. And also, I mean, it has its funny moments in it, right? With especially with Wesley Snipes' character in it.
Well, it's like a
But
sense of, like we said too, it's like when you look at Woody Harrelson, any of those movies, I'm sorry, I'm going to put in a top 5 list for Woody Harrelson, you're going to put White Man Can't Jump. You're not going to not talk about White Man. It might be 4 or 5 on his list, but it's still going to make it because it's iconic. It's like you've mentioned before in the past too. Here's another comedy alum from The Office. Ed Helms is in this movie. People forget he's in this one too.
yeah.
Um, I don't like him with like the sideburns, but
Yeah.
but it's
No,
but like what would you say like when you look at Monix like or when you look at Woody Harrelson, would you look at him like White Man Can't Jump would be like in a top 5 for him? Because to me that's how I look at it.
yeah, like if you're gonna pull up his movies, yeah, for sure. But I would also say not this movie, but I do think Kingpin would be like a honorable mention for sure of his movies.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Just due to the fact of having Bill Murray in there and due to the fact of it being directed by the Farrelly brothers and it has that Farrelly brothers feel to it. It came out a couple years after Dumb and Dumber,
Yeah.
and it has plenty of actors from that that movie in this or in Kingpin, I should say. You also got Randy Quaid in there too, and I think there's a lot of serious aspects of that movie which kind of make the movie feel a little bit different, right? Him being this bowling star, his dad dying, and then he gets his hand cut off, and there's just certain parts of it that you see the struggles he goes through. You see, like he clearly has an issue with alcohol in the movie, right? Um, but yeah, like you would say, not to go off on a tangent, but no, I do think White Man Can't Jump is for sure one of his more better roles, especially in the sports circuit of things. Um, I mean, you can definitely, it's iconic too. I mean, it's one of the best movies of the 90s, in my opinion.
Right. So now at this point, they've already marketed what's called the Mega Bowl. Even though people are like, "Well, why are you calling it the Mega Bowl? If this is your last game." Mega Bowl, Mega Bowl. But this is the first time too we see Clarence in a San Antonio Spurs jersey, which is one of my favorite jerseys. I like that black white fill to a jersey. I don't know why, but it looks sharp, and you wouldn't think that when it seems boring, but when black
Mhm.
makes it's sharp on that. But what was it? What the other thing I want to bring up too is not the only scene you see. Um, the only Coffee Black is not one of the only people you see are traded. You see the guy that Monarch fights in the beginning of the film
Yep.
is also traded.
Yep.
This was common because they wanted the best players from each team to be on this team. But you put Coffee Black on the bench.
Well, he also plays off like I'm injured, coach, right?
Because he doesn't want to play against his team.
Man, you're going in Coffee Black. Back spasms. I can't do it. That coach, the guy that plays that coach, he's in a lot of their movies too. A very small role, but I can pull up the name of him, but I've seen him in stuff too.
There you go. I
That's
want my money. Easy to come there with a sign. Half days too.
Ian Roberts. That's the dude's name.
Let's watch the F bomb, Lou.
Huh. Is that when he says it's a shit fucking sandwich? Yeah. Oh, let's watch the F bomb there, Lou. And now Jackie is knocked out, unconscious. We don't have Jackie sold the stretcher. I love this line. Jackie's teammates doing an awful job on stabilizing his spine.
Why did the pastor go and help them too?
Oh my God. I love the tropical isle. I love that. I love how like teams or professional sports teams have a certain section within the arena of how
Like the black hole or
I was just gonna say, me, I'm a huge Raiders fan, and growing up, they were in Oakland the whole time, and there was a section in the Oakland Coliseum known as the Black Hole, where a lot of the majority of the more, I should say, passionate fans
oh,
sat. Um,
I sit in that arena with a Saints jersey. Trust me, I totally understand that area.
yeah. So now they got Mr. Moon in the back trying to figure out what's going on with them. Got any smelling salts? I think we do.
Have you ever
But
tried the smelling salt?
you know what? I haven't. But it's funny. I've seen like footage of like players and hockey teams lately.
One for you, one for me, one for you.
Yeah, yeah, they're just huffing. They're almost like, yeah, they're huffing it just so they can kind of get an adrenaline rush off of it. Come
Yeah.
on, fella.
What was it? So this, of course, Jackie seeing his mom, and
How do you think this would hold up? I mean, it wouldn't hold up, honestly. But the fact that a player that is playing on a different team is like, no, I'm not going to play for you anymore in the middle of
Well,
the game.
at the end of the movie, it wouldn't happen that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like how it happens, like, oh well, we're going to still give you a contract, but it shows in this movie too. That's why one of my favorite scenes too is it shows like Clarence has grown up a little
Yeah.
because if Monix didn't come into the picture, he wouldn't have cared. He would have just went, okay, well, I'm going to play for the San Antonio Spurs. That's it. But since Monix made him a team per se, it made more sense.
Yeah.
Bye, mama, bye.
But
Hey, I threw up, mom.
and I think too, like
All by myself.
he also said, oh, I'm sorry, mom, that I took that song from you.
Yeah. So we find out he stole the song.
He
He did
stole
not.
the song from his mom, right? His mom wrote it a week before she died.
Would you call that stealing though? Because she wrote it and he could sing it.
I don't get why the obvious his mom is
Don't do that.
you're right. I just don't get it. Anyway,
Another song.
she showed me a brand new way to score a basket. This is probably one of the coolest parts of the movie, right? I love the way they incorporate it. We will get fourth place. So is this where they do it right here? I think it is. So we got Jackie making a signal to his team to run the offense a certain way. And this is where we're going to see the invention, or I should say air quotes on that, of the alley oop. And we're going to get that right now. Passes the ball. He's dribbling the ball. He goes up like he's going to shoot for the basket. And then we got Coffee Black grabbing the ball and
Okay, is
into
this thing there like what?
right.
And the rose whistle coming out of his mouth.
And everyone's like, what just happened? A very unusual series of moves just made the ball go in. Um, damn.
Damn.
Okay, did a little Ron Simmons there, huh?
I love it. I love it.
No, two fouls.
Wow. No, two. Wow. Didn't touch anybody.
My mom wouldn't.
The air like this. My mom wouldn't cheat in my dreams. What? She's an angel.
It can't be foul touch another player.
Burn your house down. No. I can't be a. Well, it is 2 points, not a 10.
I'm gonna allow it. 2 points for Flint.
That's the gospel. Is
Let's get tropical, baby.
this the ghost ball? It's legal, coach.
I think after watching this movie too, I think I'm gonna get a Tropics uniform at some
I
point.
figured. Just make sure you get longer pants and not those short shorts. I don't think
Yeah,
Taylor.
I don't like the whole short basketball shorts. Oh, another alley oop. I think I would get an Ed Monix jersey.
You want to get Moon? I get Moon.
I don't know, maybe.
Moon or Coffee Black.
I'd get Coffee Black too. I'd get all of them.
Oh, I'm just being told this is called an alley oop. That's easier to say.
So now they're making a comeback. They're down by 12 points. And now they're just using this move.
I love the alley oop.
Crowd is wild. And that's what I was saying too earlier is like, look at the crowd in that arena and look how cool like the arena looks. Like I know, nowadays for profit reasons, the arenas now can seat anywhere from 15 to 20,000 people. But I think there's something really special about a venue like this. You know what I mean? It kind of keeps it more intimate, but it also I would assume like the way buildings were made back then, the acoustics are a lot different, right? So
Let's see. So now they've finally made a comeback, but now they have a counter for the alley oop. Nobody blocks it, knocks somebody
we're
out.
not doing the alley-oop. What the hell are we gonna run?
The puke.
The puke. Let's get tropical. 1, 2, 3. And I love this movie so much.
Tropical.
Yeah, I didn't realize. All right. I like Monix as number 11 too. It's a good number. Got a foul. I love how passionate Rob Corddry's character is in this. It's so funny, and we didn't mention it earlier, but how he walked in on
Yeah, I hate that.
Ed Monix having sex with his girlfriend.
I hate that scene. That is,
He's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna sit here and watch." Like,
that's one of the scenes I just go, I just don't care. It's one of those movies like, yeah, it's there. Come on, Jackie.
oh yeah,
Got these. I'm very good at free throws. The best facet of my game. What are you doing, Jackie?
Granny style, let him go. I love the way. I love the way. Um, Andre 3000 has his accent, like it's that southern accent kind of like he's throwing granite style, let him do his thing. Like I love that. I think it comes out in his songs too.
So when I watched this, when I played basketball, I used to try to mimic. Try to mimic on the free throw line one time, Jackie Moon, and I got put as a time penalty.
Did you really?
Yes. I wanted to do it to see if it helped. And I did make one free throw, but then the second one I took longer. And so I got the time penalty for it.
This always takes forever too. He kisses the ball for good luck.
I love how they do a slow motion one too. Like,
You think he's gonna release it right there? Nope. He kissed it 3 times.
it's slow.
Oh, man. Here we go. I think he did this on purpose too. Bounce it off the rim as a free throw. That way now it's eligible for a 2-point play. Ed Monix jumps up there, grabs the ball. Boom. And this is one of my favorite songs is Move On Up. Really gives it that feel good feeling to it. And Flint has won the Mega Bowl.
Yeah, it doesn't mean
Has
anything.
done it. The Tropics have won the Mega Bowl. Look at, they even got a trophy for it. Man, what a great ending to this movie, dude. And it is ending, which is crazy. It kind of flew by there. Hour and 24 minutes and 23 seconds, folks. Still kind of going, and we'll kind of feather off to the end of this in a few minutes, but yeah, man. I love it. You're about
They're all cheering for
flipping
they're all
cars.
cheering all for a fourth place.
And the cops are flipping their own cars.
Yeah, like this scene here where Coffee Black is offered still a position.
For the San Antonio Spurs,
That
the
would
team
never
just
happen. Yeah,
yeah.
that would never happen if he did what he did. No, there's no way.
Yeah, man. And then you get Ed Monix gets his Ed Monix gets the girl back, and the boyfriend is actually cheerful about it because he's such a big Ed Monix fan. And this is
Here's
what
the
the
commissioner.
commissioner offers him a job in the NBA. because he's such a good promoter. And I love the suit, by the way. The pink suit with the rainbow looking tie. Oh, and then he gets attacked by a bear.
But everybody panic!
And that's pretty much the end of this, man. I'm glad we got to I'm kind of glad we got to dissect this a little bit. And here's the last little snippet, I guess. Dukes finally gets the money. Well, kind of. Dear Dukes, I'm sorry, but in this bag is $10,000 cash. Not, oh, actually, it's 2,300. He's gonna be paying the rest when he gets paid out on his merger buyout. Let's get tropical. Bitchin', man, bitchin'. Yeah, man. And that is the end of Semi-Pro. That's perfect ending. What do you think, man? I'm glad we did this. This was a fun.
This is the first time I watched it in a long time, and I can understand why this one wasn't as successful as some of the
Yeah.
other movies. But to me, it's like it's still a cult classic. Like you cannot sit here and not say Jackie Moon and not anybody know, or you can't have anybody not know.
Yeah.
Like it's iconic. You know, Will Ferrell. This is more far like if you had to do a role thing, it'd be in his top 10. Sure, Jackie Moon is going to be up.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the thing that could have helped too is maybe have a little better of a supporting cast. I guess like you had Woody Harrelson, you had Andre 3000, you had a couple other big name actors, but then the rest of them were just kind of like, oh, we're here.
Yeah.
They were new, so it wasn't really like anybody in particular. But no, I enjoy this movie still. I think it's a great movie. It's been a while since I've watched it, but I enjoyed it. You know, but
Yeah.
no, I'm glad we watched this. Fans, let us know what you think in the comments. You know what you think about Semi Pro. Why was Semi Pro a flop? Should have
Yeah.
been a success. And also let us know what you think about Jackie Moon. Is this one of Will Ferrell's top movies? Also, let us know if this is one of Woody Harrelson's top movies. Check us out at J4F Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Also, check us out on Spotify. I'm going to turn this over to Pat to take us.
Yeah, thank you guys for everything. Thank you to all of our Jive Turkeys out there for watching this movie with us. I hope you guys had fun as much as we did. And remember, we do it just for Flix. Let's get tropical, baby.